Hi, I'm Greg.
Hi, and I'm Michelle.
And we're the Culinary Sherpas, your guides to good food.
And we're here along one of Tampa's busiest highways at Indochinois.
Mike Wynn, chef and owner of Indochinois, is invited us in to share some, if not all, of his family's secrets as far as making pho.
And I know you love Vietnamese, and I love Vietnamese, and I bet you love Vietnamese. So let's go rock some Vietnamese.
Let's go rock some pho. Hi, Mike. How are you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself, Greg?
Very good.
Hey, Mike.
Hi, how are you today?
Thank you for having us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for stopping by.
We're really excited to learn all about Vietnamese from one of the experts.
Follow me. Thank you.
Hi, how
Let me
are you?
introduce you to my father, and
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
and my
Greg.
mom, Doi.
Very nice to meet you.
Go for it.
Well, your basic thing is that you always have to get your rice noodles. And make sure it's the thicker rice noodles, the wider one, not the thinner ones. Because you're going to have rice noodles that come in all sorts of sizes. Just
Oh.
try to, yeah.
Oh,
We've
yeah,
seen.
the assortment is confusing.
Just get the medium size and you're good.
Okay.
You want to get the thin slices of beef here.
And what kind of beef are you using?
And this is tenderloin.
Okay.
Okay,
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's top quality, and it just melts in your mouth. Make sure it's the nice and fresh ones there, you know, where it's nice and red.
And this is raw.
This is raw.
Okay.
You're gonna add thin slices of onion. So we have our red and our white onions here, and then we have some scallions that we're gonna add in there.
And is that just scallion?
Scallions and cilantro is in there. It's a mixture.
Okay.
And then we have basil here that you add in.
This looks beautiful already.
And then a little bit of pepper.
Pepper, black pepper.
White pepper.
Oh, white pepper.
It's a combination of black and white.
Okay.
We were
Yeah.
both right.
Yeah. Okay, and then from there, this is where the magic happens.
Okay.
You add the final touch in there, the broth. The first thing you're gonna smell is the aroma.
Oh, wow.
Now the trick to eating pho is that before you add anything in it, you want to taste the broth. And once you taste the broth, you're going to notice the difference between. And by adding that, the hot boiling broth in there, it cooks the meat in.
Cooks the meat. I saw it cook instantly.
But it does take 24 hours to prepare this broth.
Whoa.
Wow.
A full day. Well, shall we taste it?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Man, very good.
Even before we add any of this on,
Okay.
I want you to take your soup spoon. I want you to try the broth.
The broth, which is crystal clear.
Yeah,
might I
look how
add.
clear that is.
You want to taste first.
Yes.
You want to taste all the different spices that goes into making this.
Okay.
Taste a lot of familiar flavors in there, but there's these
Yeah.
underlying subtleties that just kind of make it stand out apart from other people's.
So what do you think?
I think it's great.
It's beyond delicious.
Okay. Well, good. Okay, now that we've gone through the first step,
Yes, the next
what
step.
you want to do is we have basil, we have bean sprouts, we have lime,
Okay.
and then we have your hoisin sauce.
All right.
Some people call this plum sauce. There's no plum in it, so I don't know why it's called that, but that's
Okay.
a different story. Sriracha hot sauce. You always
Love
have to have
sriracha.
Okay. First thing you want to add is some the lime wedge. Yeah.
Some lime. Okay.
Squeeze a lime wedge in there.
You put in lime. Take the water. Yes.
Just like that.
Yep.
All right.
Good.
Now, is this Thai basil? Is this?
This is a Thai basil. yes.
Okay.
You want bean sprout?
And then add bean sprouts in.
And then the bean sprouts.
Bean sprouts kind of cool out the broth a little bit. Kind of adds a crunchy texture to it as
I'm
well.
gonna embarrass myself and try to do this.
Oh my! Is it okay to use your hands?
Fine. We're all family here, right?
Okay. Okay. All right. So if you're in public in Vietnam, you want to use your.
Yeah, you want to use the
Okay.
chopsticks. You want to add a few squirts of the hoisin sauce.
Okay.
Okay, it's
If
made
you like,
specifically
if you like.
to go in there. Now, some people don't like it in there. I like it in there.
Okay.
You know the spices that we were talking about. It
Yeah.
helps bring some of that out.
All right. So just a little bit,
Just a little.
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, you
A couple
try
more
that.
squirts of that.
Bit of sweetness to bring it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
All right, Greg.
Spicy. You want hot?
The
Yeah.
sriracha.
Yeah, you add the sriracha, and you always gotta add that sriracha.
How much sriracha do you add?
I put it. My broth turns into almost an orange color.
I can
A lot of
take
people, they
some
want-
heat, so you tell me when, okay?
Okay. I think that's good.
I think
Okay.
Probably good enough for you.
Sriracha
Okay.
is one of those things that you just can't
It's
live
universal.
without.
You can add it to anything.
I've made ice cream with it. It's
So good. This is phenomenal. You have to tell us, is it pho or is it pho?
The way I see it, or the way that I've also been told by my parents, it's the region in Vietnam where you're from. they're from the south, way south. So it's pronounced pho. Pho. So you bring it down and then you kind of bring it up. So it's pho. The northern, they'll kind of call it pho.
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 Very flat.
Very flat. So you have two different types of accents. Just like over in the U.S., you have your southern accent
Right.
and the northern accent.
You were giving us a little bit of history about it. Can you tell us more about that?
Based on what I know growing up, is that pho first came about in the history of Vietnam somewhere in the 1800s.
Wow.
It's that far back. And then there's two sides to this. There are people that say that pho was influenced by the Chinese. The other people saying that it was influenced by the French. You have the Chinese who pretty much ruled Vietnam for 1,000 years, and then you have the French who ruled Vietnam for 100 years.
That's
So
true, yes.
I believe it's probably a combination of both, because the Chinese are known for their soups and noodles.
Right.
Not particularly rice noodles, but soups and noodles.
Now I can see a lot of the French influence in the broth itself, as far as
You
the
can taste that.
way that it's prepared and.
Well, that's good, because originally when the pho was introduced, it was cooked with pork bones and chicken bones and chicken stocks
And not beef bones.
and not beef. When the French came in, they introduced the North to the delicacies of red meat and beef,
Oh,
and then
okay.
it evolved into cooking the pho with the beef stock and beef bones.
If you look through the history of the world, the influences of the occupiers of different places, of what they've brought to the native food, has a huge impact on things. And, well, I don't know where I'm going with that, so I'm going to stop talking.
No, the pho, believe it or not, leave a lot of people speechless. So you're not the first, and you're not the last.
As the pho sits, it just blooms more and more and more and becomes just even more delicious than the first bite.
does.
It's like a really good wine.
The sad part's when you add to your last bite. That's always the sad part to the story.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for having us to Indochinois. It is not only gorgeous, but this is unbelievably delicious. Thank you very much for sharing this with us. We really appreciate it.
Great, thank you for stopping by. Michelle, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was amazing.
Yes, that was great.
All right, so Mike's broth took 24 hours.
Yeah.
We don't have 24 hours.
No, we don't.
But can you make pho that would taste like pho is supposed to be?
On a rainy day like today, you want something that's, kind of light but nutritious and hearty all at the same time. Maybe like 30-minute pho.
Oh, I gotta see this.
Oh, let's give it a try.
All right.
We're gonna learn how to take this and we're gonna turn it into something that actually tastes like pho. The beef bones that we're gonna use here are to add a little bit of body and texture to this stock. We're gonna take the stock, we'll put this into the pot. Go ahead and add the beef bones. Let's put 4 of them in. And to that, we're gonna add about 3 ounces of turbinado sugar. We're gonna add about 1/4 cup of fish sauce. And we've got about 10 star anise. And 6 whole cloves. And we're gonna throw this into a dry skillet for just a couple of minutes to toast it and get the oils
Get it going.
extracting.
Okay. I gotcha.
We're also gonna take this ginger.
You want me to peel it?
Yeah, we'll peel it real quick.
All right. Well, I don't know if I could do it real quick.
We're gonna beat this up a little bit. Chop it into a few chunks. The smaller the pieces, the quicker the flavor will extract. And that goes into broth.
Okay, so it's just melding the flavor with the stock and the ginger and the beef bones. So that was like a minute.
That was just about a minute. And
All right.
you can smell that
Yeah, I
all the
can
oils
totally
are
smell
starting
it.
to come out of it. So we'll put that in there. Now, since we put the bones into the stock,
Yeah.
we've got this kind of foamy stuff that's coming up to the top.
And that's the fat, which
Well, it's fat, it's impurities, it's things that you don't really want in your finished broth. So we'll just kind of wander by and skim
Skim.
that off every once in a while.
does it have to like be completely skimmed?
No, it doesn't have to be.
Would Thomas Keller want it that way?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And you'll lose a little bit of extra stock while you're doing it, but
You'll have a better product,
better
yeah.
product.
Okay. What are we doing with this?
we're gonna thin slice some of those onions.
Okay.
And I'm gonna chop up these serrano chilies here.
Whole onion? 2 onions.
Let's just use about half an onion, really.
All right.
Pass me those limes.
All right, what's next?
We're going to be cooking some noodles.
These are Shandong noodles.
I stand in the noodle aisle at the Asian market and just go, God, please let me pick the right one.
I know, because there's like 500 different types of noodles.
And it's got a pretty color on the package.
I like the lucky fish. I think I might get that tattooed, actually. So we're going in
We're going in.
to the hot tub.
So we'll put those into some boiling water.
Oh, look at it. Like, it's super fast. Oh my God, I can totally smell that broth. It smells like the broth for pho.
It is the broth for pho.
But I didn't believe you, because sometimes you lie.
Cheap and quick and easy.
So can I stir this or no?
Yes, please do.
Is this salted?
No,
water?
that is not salted. The salt is actually going to come from the fish sauce that we put into the stock.
Right, because that's super salty.
The noodles are done.
So that was like 2 minutes.
Yeah. We're just going to drain these off. Then, unlike traditional pasta, give these a rinse so they don't stick together.
Ah.
And use a pair of tongs if you don't have hands like mine. So we've got these cooled down. We've got them rinsed off a bit.
Okay.
We'll pull them out to drain.
I'll dump that for you.
And we'll just set them to the side until we need them. I've had this piece of sirloin fillet in the freezer for about 10 minutes so that it firms up a little bit so that we can slice it paper thin. You need a very sharp knife. And the reason that we want to get this sliced very thinly is that the broth is actually going to cook the meat.
How long was this in the freezer?
This was in for about 5-10 minutes.
It's not frozen, but it's very, very cold. And it does make it a lot easier.
I noticed that I did this on a different cutting board that we were working on with the vegetables.
Right, and that's for the cross-contamination.
Yeah, we don't want to get the beef all over everything else.
Hand washing time.
Yes, it is hand washing time. Let's all go to the lobby. So we're going to fill each bowl with some noodles.
Okay.
The beef that we just sliced, and I just washed my hands from cutting,
Yeah.
is going in the bowl next.
You're putting the raw beef on top of the noodles.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm putting some herbs in here.
Yeah, we're going to start with some onion.
All right.
Kind of lay your beef out fairly flat so that when the broth hits it, it's going to cook all the way through. We're going to take a little bit of the Thai basil there.
All right.
Some cilantro sprigs.
This, I love Thai basil. We want some sprigs. How many?
Probably just a few leaves here and there.
All right. Whole?
Whole.
Because you're not really going to eat the...
Oh yeah, you are.
Oh, okay. I never eat mine. At the restaurant, I
You're
never
missing
eat
out.
it. All right.
Then we're going to put the broth over all of this.
Okay.
Now we've got all of our cloves and anise and ginger and bones in here.
God, that
so
smells really good.
just got to run this through a strainer.
And that's to collect the...
That's to get all the bits out.
Yeah. Which that really does make life a lot easier. The instant that stock hit the steak, it was cooking it.
Mm-hmm. We just need to make sure that we get enough broth to cover the meat so that it continues to cook. If you want to throw some cilantro sprigs around there.
Okay, just kind of like as a little garnish, or
Yep, just
a little bit more than
a little bit
garnish?
more than a garnish.
Okay.
I'm going to chop some green onions.
You know what I love about this? We've had to cut beef and onions.
And take some of the serranos, sprinkle those around. And we got all of that. Wedge of lime, a little bit of bean sprouts.
I know about these puppies. I love bean sprouts. I like that they add the crunch. Are we good?
We're good.
I'm gonna do it. That is awesome. Pho King, man, he is a genius.